Aisha Hoover. I'm your licensed mental health therapist. I am licensed in Mississippi, Texas, and Oregon. I have a little special guest with me today, my little puppy dog named Chevy, because he just had to come up here with me. So if you see him making an appearance and you see a fur ball, just know that that is him. Now that we got that disclaimer out the way, I want to talk about feeling disconnected but not lonely. So think about this for a moment. Have you ever surrounded yourself with a lot of people or with people in general? It could be 2 or 3 people in a room, but you still feel separate. Not exactly lonely, but just not fully there. You're not fully connected. That experience or that feeling of being disconnected but not lonely is more common than most people realize. And it can be very confusing to explain because on paper, everything may look fine, right? You have relationships, you have conversations, and you do show up. But inside of you, there's a disconnect or a distance from other people. Loneliness is usually about absence. Disconnectedness is about presence without depth. You can be physically near people but emotionally guarded. You can talk without feeling known, and you can laugh without feeling relaxed. As a therapist, when someone tells me I don't feel lonely, I just feel off, I listen very carefully because disconnection often isn't about how many people are around you. It's about how safe you feel when people are in the room with you and also being fully yourself. Because a lot of us, we, for whatever reason, don't want to show our full selves around certain people or certain entities or certain situations. Sometimes disconnection can be a protective measure. Maybe we feel like in certain rooms we won't be accepted if we show our real selves. Maybe at some point in your life, though, it wasn't safe to express emotion. Or maybe vulnerability led to criticism or dismissal of your feelings, which that's not cool. Maybe you learned how to manage yourself before managing relationships. So your nervous system adapted. It learned to stay slightly guarded and slightly self-monitoring. And that's what started to create the distance. Sometimes you may feel like you're performing more so than participating. You find yourself editing your thoughts before you say them, and you may avoid deeper topics even with the people that you trust. According to research, studies on attachment, and attachment is a fancy word of how you bond with somebody or how you are bonding or how you bonded when you was younger, and also emotional regulation show that our ability to feel connected is shaped by early relational experiences of your mom and your dad. How were they connected to you when you were younger? Then also as you grew up with your cousins or family, how was that relationship like when you were younger? If connection once felt critical or overwhelming, then your nervous system may default to malprotection, not isolation or not avoidance. Just like you're present but not really. And partial presence can also feel like disconnection. And another factor to this as well is chronic stress. When your nervous system is in a prolonged state, it often prioritizes safety over intimacy. And in order for you to be connected, it requires you to be open. It requires some level of vulnerability. And overall, just know that in openness ultimately requires safety. So if your body doesn't feel fully safe, it may keep you slightly guarded, even in healthy environments. And just know that this isn't a flaw, it's just a survival adaptation. Some people may say that I feel like nobody knows me. And then as we go deeper into that thought, it's often because they haven't felt safe enough to let themselves be known fully. And it's not because others are unsafe. It's because being vulnerable still feels risky internally. I hope that made sense. Disconnection can also happen when you have been in caretaker mode for a long time and when you are focused on managing other people's emotions and anticipating needs and keeping things stable for other people. So it's hard to feel connected when you're constantly monitoring, whether that's people, the situation, or the environment. Because understanding that connection requires mutual presence. You have to be in the moment. Just know that reconnection doesn't usually happen dramatically. It happens in small segments. Letting a pause linger instead of feeling it. Because I know people are so cringe when it comes to just silence, but sometimes silence is needed to just to let a moment in time pass, or just to enjoy the moment while you are there. Sharing an honest thought without over explaining things, and then noticing when you're bracing and gently softening your shoulders. Some of us walk like up like this, or we even sit like this instead of just relaxing. And that's the difference. So we don't want to be uptight. We want to be relaxed and calm and comfortable. Allowing yourself to stay in that meaningful moment for a few seconds longer than usual. So if you find yourself that you're a person that shrugs your shoulders, and this is just an example, have a more conscious mindset to just relax and breathe. As you drop your shoulders, exhale and see how that make you feel. And when you send these small signals of safety, and it teaches your nervous system that connection does not equal danger, because remember, our bodies are very smart. So the way that we interpret information is what our body is doing to protect us, whether if it's a real danger or if it's just you not feeling connected. Our bodies doesn't know the difference. So we have to make sure that we are teaching our bodies on how to approach situations without us being on guard all the time. Feeling disconnected but not lonely is often less about the number of relationships you have, and it's more about how safe you feel inside of them. Because connection isn't proximity, it's presence. And growing presence grows where safety exists. So if you ever felt this quiet distance, you are not alone. And it makes sense that your nervous system's learn. Please, get down. And it makes sense that your nervous systems learned what it did. The goal isn't forced closeness, it's slowly build enough safety that closeness becomes natural. And that process is very gentle. And that's where we can learn that in therapy. If you want to book a consultation with me, I will have my website in the bio. To book a consultation, go to my website, click book free consultation, scroll down, pick the dates that you want, the time that you want, and then you're going to scroll below, put in your information, and then you check the box if you would like, and then you'll schedule a meeting. Make sure you check out the website. I hope my little puppy dog was not too much of a distraction as he was to me. But other than that, you guys, thank you for watching the channel. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe.